soon as possible. You know.
That's why when it comes to news, everything we eat tastes like chicken. 'Cause that's all it is. Various forms of chicken.
Get into this El Chapo Son, and it's like a war going on in Mexico. Broke out today. I'm exaggerating, but
What?
here, let me play this. I don't know what this clip shows. Can't really see anything. It says fighting has escalated dramatically between the Sinaloa cartel and the Mexican government over the release of El Chapo Son. I thought he was, yeah, because they arrested him. So the No Jumper posted this. It says fighting has escalated dramatically between the Sinaloa cartel and the Mexican government over release of El Chapo Son. I got some more clips on this. So apparently they arrested him, and the cartel is this one says video footage of cartel speeding to confront Mexican military to free El Chapo's son. The caption says El Chapo's son was arrested and the cartel ain't playing. Let me see. I think I got a couple more. I know I got at least one more. Is this from it? Yeah, this is an. I think that was another clip, but I could have been wrong on that. It says Ovidio Guzman in Sonora. So yeah, that was another clip. Looked like they had helicopters raining down bullets. Basically, they're fighting against the cartel. Let me see. I got another one right here. Hopefully this.
Mexican city of Culiacan turning into a war zone after the capture of Ovidio Guzman, a leader of the Sinaloa cartel and son of infamous drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Dozens of roadblocks were set up by armed men trying and failing to prevent Guzman from being taken out of the city. Attacks even launched at the airport. Here, military members take cover as a Mexican Air Force plane taxis down the runway. At the same time, at least one bullet striking this Aeromexico commercial flight, civilians forced to hunker down, though none were injured. Mexican city of Culiacan turning into a war zone after the capture of Ovidio Guzman, a leader of the Sinaloa cartel and son of infamous drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Dozens of roadblocks were set up by armed men trying and failing to prevent Guzman from being taken out of the city. Attacks even launched at the airport. Here, military members take cover as a Mexican Air Force plane taxis down the runway. At the same time, at least one bullet striking this Aeromexico commercial flight, civilians forced to hunker down, though none were injured.
So it says Mexican authorities have arrested Ovidio Guzman, son of notorious drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. According to a press release issued by the United States State Department on December 16th, Ovidio is a high-ranking member of the Sinaloa cartel and was involved in all of the cartel's activities, especially the production of fentanyl. News of Ovidio's arrest sparked violence across the city, forcing local officials to tell citizens to shelter at home amid clashes with cartel members in various parts of Culiacan. According to AP News, cartel members set up 19 roadblocks throughout the city, including one at Culiacan's airport and outside the local army base, as well as at all points of access to the city of Culiacan. However, the Air Force was still able to fly Ovidio to Mexico City despite their efforts.
What you say about that?
Shit, it shows the power of the cartel. So it's like Y'all better fight like hell. If the niggas catch me, y'all better fight like hell to get me free. Don't let them take me nowhere. That was the order. I'm sure people died. They're not talking about it, but I'm sure. Um, so them dudes got to give their life because that's what it is. That's what it is. So, a lot of times, the thing is about when you arrest a guy like this, like, you see it in the movies all the time. Like somebody else fills in that spot. Like you have to focus on the root cause of the situation and then start going at that if you really want to fix it. But they don't want to do that. So this is optics, arresting him. So, in politics, in the media, they're talking about fentanyl like crazy. They've been talking about the border like crazy. They're talking about the cartels are the ones, they're the devil. The cartels are the devil behind the whole fentanyl thing, and people are dying. Not to say that the cartel don't do horrible things, and but you can't put the fentanyl situation completely on the cartel. I have to say that. But what I'm saying
Well, who
is
do
they're
you put
making
it
it.
on?
It's hey, we gotta first. I want to talk about the damn legal pharmaceutical industry. You want to talk about that? How many people are dying from the opiates that they get from over the counter or from prescription drugs, or the ones
Well,
that
I
even
mean,
are the doctor. So, but what I'm saying is attacking, you know, El Chapo Son and arresting him is just political. It's to look like I'm doing something. We're trying to do something about this fentanyl thing, da 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 da. But it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to have
show
the
me,
impact.
show me, show me one part of life that is not political. Because I
Well,
mean, I agree. I agree with you when it comes when we have an issue with legal pharmaceuticals, but at the same time, I mean, we're talking about. I mean, you know, just the touching of one can kill you. The rest of it is misuse. So I mean, and it can be used in a form, in a fashion that won't kill you. But I mean, overall, I mean, when you have a situation like this, when you got people that's flooding into another country with drugs that is killing people, what do you do? I mean, do you just sit back and be like, well, I mean, because I mean, you can say
you
that the
attack the root
politicians,
problem.
which
Just
is what
arresting the guy at the top is not gonna do anything really. I'm sure they have protocols for the next person to step in that's gonna be calling the shots, and business will continue as
true,
usual.
true,
That's it. It's just gonna
but
roll on.
but that's what I'm saying. So, how do you fix it?
Well, and the this one is it's really complex, but you got to look at what's going on. Okay, so the fentanyl thing, right, is really cheap to make. I want to say they're buying like this powder from like China. I don't know where it's the synthetic shit, and they make this black tar shit, and it's cheap, you know, and because it's synthetic, and you could just make it. So, but it's really potent. It's like more potent than heroin or whatever the hell. I don't want to say it wrong. It's really, really, really potent. It's really
Well, I would, yeah, I would easily
concentrated.
agree with that.
So,
Because I
but
mean,
they use it for all kinds of stuff. Um, you know, uh, it's to add potency to really whatever. You got these people pressing these pills. You got a lot going on related to it. So it's all over the place. But you look at the reason why it's happening, it's an economic thing. That guy, he makes money off of getting this synthetic stuff and making it into a tar. And it's crazy how much the value of it switches by the time it gets over the border. Because on one side, I was watching a whole ass documentary on this shit. And they were talking about how much they make over there when they sell in the tar. And then once it gets to the United States, the price it multiplies by like 1,000, the value of it. Okay, so those people that's even over there, they're poor people that are making this stuff, and they're making pennies too. They're not even making much money doing this shit. You know, sometimes they're forced to do it because it has to do with the jobs. So then that's what you have to look at. You have to look at the economies of the people, you know, the jobs. What opportunities do they have? That's what you have to look at, you know? And that's when you go into the root cause of the problem if you really want to fix the problem. Because these people don't want to be a part of the cartel. Like, it's the best job probably you can have. It's probably the best job you can have working for the cartel, making
Mm-hmm.
lots and lots of money, you know? So
Yeah.
they jockey for that job because
Well, well, I'm gonna tell you now. As far as I mean, everything that you've been saying kind of throws me off because if you were going down the road of, one government is trying to, whether it's the Mexican government, United States government, whoever it is that's trying to take control of the situation, how dare they try to judge who's right or wrong, who's bad or good or bad in this? Because I mean, these governments have a lot to do with the flow of these drugs as well. They
that's
either
my point. These people, like we're talking about freaking Chase Bank. We were talking about Chase Bank and how I had Washington Mutual and it turned into Chase Bank because they bought up all the damn banks. And then Chase is in trouble right now because they have the suits going on, and it's always having suits, and they're always in trouble. But they fired that chick we talked about, Virgin Islands Attorney General lady, for
hmm
bringing on a suit against Chase. So then look, how Chase don't care about using the money of uh, traffickers or maybe cartel, knowing what they're doing, and straight
hmm
probably charging them extra because they know and they tell them. They probably be like, "Hey, you know this ain't clean, so we're gonna charge you an extra ass 50% ass fee or some shit or whatever."
yeah,
So they're making a killing. So that's how they get the capital. Capital is what runs the game. So the other bank, Washington Mutual or whatever, I'm not saying that they're great or whatever, but some other bank trying to follow the rules and not taking money from sex traffickers and not taking money from cartel, they don't have the capital that the Chase Bank has. So they end up getting bought. They end up getting purchased. So, I mean, this is complex related to the way the border moves and the way that they treat the people who migrate back and forth between Mexico and the United States, seasonally, mostly for work, and how they're exploited. All of this goes into the the dynamics that causes this situation to come about. So if it's too complex for them to really, and they don't want to fix it because they benefit from the way things are right now. So that's what I mean by optics and politics when capturing the head guy and taking him to jail, and then it makes it look like they're doing something when they're really not. Play this one.